Hello, everyone. My name is Teddy Fikre, and I'm running for Congress to represent Virginia's 8th Congressional District, which is comprised of Alexandria, Arlington, and Southern Fairfax. So, as I conveyed in previous broadcasts, part of what compels me to run, for Congress is to represent everyday people, everyday workers, small business owners, because I understand the plight that too many of us are facing. I'm currently working 2 jobs. I have my 9 to 5, and then I'm forced to drive Uber to supplement my income. I'm not. This is not something that's unique to me, or even unique in America. This is more and more the new norm for millions, if not tens of millions of people. There was a time not too long ago where if you go to college, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a job that pays you well, and then you can retire. But these days, you come out of college, if you have a master's, you might end up becoming a barista at Starbucks, and jobs are disappearing left and right. And the new normal in America, the American dream, has been replaced by the American hustle, where everyday workers and small business owners just cannot catch a break at all. So the other day, as I was driving an Uber passenger, I told her that I was running for Congress, and then we had a pretty good conversation on the way to DC. And at the end, she said, I really, really want to support you, but there's 2 things I'm kind of hung up on. How do you convince people like me who like you that voting for you as an independent is not wasting their votes? Because I believe that, as she said. And then she also said, you're over here driving Uber, working 2 jobs. And I told her that I was not going to take a penny from Wall Street or any publicly owned corporations. And she kind of, paralleled that to a form of unilateral disarmament. So how am I going to be able to field a competitive campaign where money is scarce? So I'm going to tell you what I conveyed to her. On the first front, about this idea that if we don't vote for Democrats or Republicans, that it's wasting our vote. Well, I humbly submit to you, voting for the same 2 parties that have proven themselves to be they don't represent us at all, is very evident. The approval rating for Congress is somewhere around 7%. That's COVID. They're kind of competing with COVID in terms of disapproval ratings. So the vast majority of Americans just don't like either party. And in fact, if you look at the engaged electorate, the ones that have yet to be driven out of politics or voting because of a lack of true representation or their frustration, only roughly about 30% of Americans identify as Republican, and another 30% identify as Democrat, right? So then we're talking about roughly 40%, if not, and that number is growing every day, every year, every election cycle. More and more people are identifying as independent. Or if you lump in a third party, then you're talking about nearly a majority of Americans are neither party. Now, if you include people that just stop voting because they recognize the game for what it is, when 2 parties collude, and when they are colluding, by the way, to eliminate competition and to monopolize ballot access to ballot, then it's not a democracy. Democracy is about competition of ideas. When 2 parties, which by the way, Democrats and Republicans are both the parties, are both corporations. They're both incorporated. So these 2 corporations are also then turn around and work to enhance the fortunes of multinational corporations to benefit billionaires, and they do so at the cost of the rest of Americans. This is not in any form the republic that Benjamin Franklin said that we should keep. It's been aborted and replaced by a legalized graft where both parties they call it campaign contributions. Let's call it what it really is. It's legalized bribery. It's graft on a massive scale. And the end result are policies that enrich the few and pillage the rest. And the issues that we care about. If you strip away the labels of either Democrat or Republican, calling yourself left or right, all these endless labels that divide us, and actually talk about the issues, you will find that there's an overlap between what Democrats, self-identifying Democrats, self-identifying Republicans, what people on the left and what people on the right. There's a lot of overlap. It's just the label gets in the way. I know this firsthand because just even in the past 2 months alone, as I've been driving, Uber and talking to a lot of passengers, when I tell them that I'm independent, then we could have discussions without them feeling like they have to defend their tribe, right? So then when I talk about, rolling away or minimizing the influence that government has in our everyday lives, when I talk about empowering our communities instead of multinational corporations, when I talk about empowering small business owners and entrepreneurs instead of handing over all our resources and giving preferential treatment to companies like Walmart, Amazon, Google, these corporations, these mega corporations that weaponize their wealth. They use their scale and their size to drive out competition, and then they curry favor with by using lobbyists to get policies that benefit them, and that really are decimating the working class, the middle class. Of course, the poor have already been decimated, and they're driving out more and more small businesses. So what that leads to is consolidation, and consolidation gives root to corruption. And if you look at past empires, all of them went the way of the Roman Empire because of debt and because of consolidated power, which gives rise to corruption, massive corruption. And we've been on that path for a very long time. And you can trace a lot of this because our government has been hijacked by these two parties. The only way to break this, the duopoly as they're called, is by ensuring that we have independent voices in Congress. As of right now, we have zero, none. Even Bernie Sanders, who claims to be for the people, at the end of the day, he's caucusing with Democrats, and he's at the end of the day, he's playing into that left-right divide, and he's doing really nothing other than tweeting to advance the issues that his supporters care about. So that's why that's the imperative of having independent voices in Congress. Now, as far as money, that too, it's almost as if though we measure the measurement of how much money somebody has is a qualifier for our office. The very intention of the House of the House of Representatives was to represent us. Right? It was supposed to be legislators that work part-time and go back to their communities and work. This has now been, if you look at Congress, whether it's in the Senate or the House of Representatives, you either have millionaires, like my opponent, who by the way, he made his fortunes. He enhanced, let me kind of restate that. His father had a very successful car dealership, and then he gave that to his son. So the fortunes that he now has, it's not really because of his hard work, it's because of his dad's hard work. That's not negative campaigning. That's called the truth. And I believe in one thing. As much as I'm not going to engage in negative campaigning, but I will hold people accountable and shine a light on their record. And part of that is how my opponent, Don Beyer, made a massive fortune during 2009 when they're doing the Reinvestment Act, where car dealerships and the car manufacturers were given, basically they were given fortunes, while homeowners were being told to take a hike. And because of that, he became he multiplied his millions. And so now he's in Congress. He's nothing new. The whole of Congress is filled with either millionaires or soon-to-be millionaires working for billionaires and not working for us. So we need to change that. And part of the way that we change that is, as much as possible, to take money out of the elections. We can't look at the money primary, as they call it, and say, well, somebody's going to win because they have fortunes. We need one of us, people that know the stresses and the hurdles that we all go through. So who do you want representing you? Someone that's working 2 jobs currently, or someone and knows your struggles and intimately and knows what it feels like to negotiate between, well, should I make this purchase or just push this off because gas prices are just too high, because rent keeps going up all the time, or someone that is a multi-millionaire, who knows how big his fortune is, and lives in a expensive chalets and has no idea what it's like to be you. Has no idea, how much it hurts when you're pumping gas and the runaway cost of gas, for example. And so when they don't understand our pains, they then feed into the same. They maintain the status quo. We can't. We keep expecting a new deal from people that are profiting from the current system. It's like if you're sitting at a blackjack table, and there's one person who's on a massive winning streak, right? And then the rest are losing all the time. Do you want that person? Do you expect that person to ask for a new dealer? Of course not. They're on a winning streak, and in that way, expecting millionaires who are on the payroll of billionaires to give us, we the people, a new deal is just as it's pie in the sky thinking. So the only way that we could change this dynamic and restore fairness in this country and ensure equality of opportunity for all Americans is by breaking the grip that these two parties have, and by electing truly independent voices. So you can find out, this is a nascent, campaign. I just announced a couple of weeks ago. So the challenge before me is to reach more and more people, and to get my ideas heard and my name recognized. So part of that is I challenge each one of you listening to this, whether it's today or going down the line, to really embrace this. We have this campaign, and to become as spokespeople for this campaign, to advocate on behalf of Fikre for a VA. So by the way, Fikre means my love in Amharic. I'm originally from Ethiopia. So my love, it essentially means my love for Virginia. So I believe that love and unity are the only way that we could overcome division and greed and hatred that is darkening this country and darkening the planet as a whole. So the light of love and the light of unity is our only options, to be honest with you. So I challenge you to grab a hold of this campaign and to really push the message and let people know about the website. You can go to the website at www.fikre, VA.com. And you can follow me on social media as well, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search Fikre, Fikre, VA, like Virginia, and be engaged. I believe, here's what I believe. I'm betting on we the people. I believe that the energy of motivated people could overtake the money of billionaires. So, people versus plutocrats. I have my money. my bet is on the people. We the people. So I ask you to join this growing movement, to be a part of this campaign, and I believe that when election season day comes in November, that we could be victorious. not I, because at the end of the day, I'm running to represent something way bigger than my own, self-interest. I'm running to preserve the interests of all of us, the collective and connective interests that we have. And the only way that we can defend our interests is through oneness and this idea that we have a shared journey and a shared struggle and a shared hope for a better future. My name is Teddy Fikre, and I'm running for Congress. Thank you, and have a blessed night.